to the world? How do we showcase our products? So thank you and welcome again. So before I go on, I think we should do some introductions. It'll be nice to know who the press people are and what media houses you represent. So I'm going to have the hostesses give you the mics where you can introduce yourself, and then I'm going to go right into introducing our executives as well. So thank you.
Good morning, all. My name is Olushola Bello. I write for Leadership newspaper.
Good morning. My name is Emmanuel, representative from Sun.
Good morning. My name is Boyega Alaka. I work with the Nation newspapers.
Good morning. My name is Tosi Clegg. I write for This Day newspaper.
Good morning. Kelechi Uzie, Business Day.
Good morning. My name is Juliet Ebirim. I write for Vanguard.
Hi, good morning. My name is Toby. I work with Guardian Nigeria.
Good morning. My name is Samuel Ekom, Nairametrics.
Good morning. My name is Aaron Rufus. I write for Marketing Edge.
Thank you, everyone. Nice to meet you. Just before I go on, I just want you to know that this is a COVID-compliant event, and let's ensure that we have our masks on at every point. Also remember to put your phones on silent. Thank you. So I'm going to introduce the executives that we have here. I have Dapo Akinsoya, who is the head of pensions at Tangerine, Nigeria. Give him a round of applause, please. Livingston Magorimbo, who's head of life insurance at Tangerine, Nigeria.
That's me.
And our director of commercials, who at Tangerine, Nigeria, who's Ibitunde Balogun. We also have head of general insurance, who is Ademayowa Adeduro. Thank you very much. So today we're going to be focusing on 3 themes for this session. And I have these executives here who are going to deep dive into everything you need to know about Tangerine. But before we go ahead, I'm going to tell you who we are as a brand. Tangerine is a leading technology and financial services platform in Africa, powered by a life and general insurance business, a microfinance bank, and a PFA, which is a pensions business. And as a brand, our mission is to help people live financially secure lives through our diverse range of products that we've launched into the market and we plan to launch going into the future, hoping that our consumers and their loved ones are able to secure a great future. So I'm going to stop right here and just go right into the session. We're going to be speaking to 3 themes this morning. And I'm going to introduce those themes very quickly and then hand it over to the speakers. The first is the Tangerine journey and the impact so far, which will be taken by Dapo, who I've introduced. The next theme would be the growth plans as a business going into the future. And finally, Ibitunde, the head of commercial at Tangerine Nigeria, will take us through our products and service offerings. So Dapo, I'm about to hand over to you.
All right. I think I have a mic. Is my voice? Oh, all right. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure for me to be here. What for us is a real milestone in our emergence and evolution as a brand in the financial services space in Nigeria and Africa, ultimately. What I'm going to do is to quickly take you through our origins and how we have evolved in the just a little under 2 years that we've been in existence. In a nutshell, this idea was originated by Verot Capital Management. And the idea was to fill a gap which was perceived to exist in financial services in our local market, with the idea being to build a financial services platform that would be primarily digitally driven, right, and to address the needs to which Labisi referred a few minutes ago. The first step in that process was the acquisition of the entity that used to be called Metropolitan Life Insurance, which was acquired by Verod Capital Management via one of the funds they manage in September 2019. Shortly after that acquisition, the business was recapitalized in October 2019. And around the same time, the process to acquire another life insurance entity called ARM Life commenced. At about the same time, Verod also commenced the process for the acquisition of a microfinance bank, which used to be called Assured Microfinance Bank. The acquisition of ARM Life with an initial stake of 77% was completed in March 2020. And thereafter, a merger process to combine Metropolitan Life and ARM Life commenced. That merger was completed in February 2021 with the resulting entity rebranded Tangerine Life, hence our origins. In continuation of the journey into financial services, along with the acquisitions in life insurance, in microfinance, Verod also commenced the process for acquisitions in the pension industry. And that process, the initial stage of that process was completed in August 2020 with the acquisition of the business formerly known as AXA Mansard Pensions Limited. That process culminated in the rebranding of the business into Tangerine Pensions Limited, which is what we're called today. At the same time as that process was ongoing, Verod Capital Management also initiated discussions for a significant stake in another PFA. That culminated in the acquisition of a significant minority stake in another PFA, and that process is currently ongoing. However, in line with regulatory requirements, once that acquisition is complete, there will be a business combination of that other PFA along with Tangerine Pensions. It is expected that that business combination will be completed during this financial year, 2021. And the resulting entity is expected to be the most innovative PFA in that space. Shortly after the acquisition of AXA Mansard Pensions in August 2020, a process for the acquisition of Law Union and Rock was also completed. That specifically was in October 2020, and that business has since been rebranded into Tangerine General Insurance Limited. So as of today, what started with the acquisition of Metropolitan Life, which ultimately became Tangerine Life, has resulted in a group of financial services businesses, which we are launching today as Tangerine. And today consists of 4 key businesses: Tangerine Life, Tangerine General, Tangerine Pensions, as well as Tangerine Money. To further enhance our service offering, and along the same lines as helping our clients and the market live secured lives, we are also at the final stages of acquisitions in the health insurance space, with Verod Capital Management through one of its funds, or some of its funds, in the final stages of notable acquisitions in the HMO space. Once those are completed, which will also result in a merger of 2 businesses, ultimately, that business, the resultant business, will be called Tangerine Health, which in a way perhaps will signal a key point in the first phase of our emergence in the Nigerian financial services space and ultimately Africa. With regard to Africa, which is a key part of our growth ambitions, the intention is that within the next 3 to 4 years, we will be in at least 8 other African countries. So that is, in essence, that is what has led to us being here, starting with that acquisition in life insurance and culminating in the other businesses that have been acquired and combined. So in terms of what we've achieved so far, a lot has been going on over the last 18 to 24 months. With all these businesses that have been acquired, the business combinations that have occurred, and so on. As you know, it's challenging to put so many different businesses together, especially in our environment, and that has taken up a huge part of our time. But I'm happy to say that we've been very successful. We've achieved quite a number of milestones, starting with the merger of Metropolitan Life and ARM Life. We've gone through the rebranding of these various businesses. We've been successful in getting the requisite regulatory approvals. We've made significant progress in terms of building our businesses and getting them ready for the sort of notable growth that we expect to achieve in the near to medium term. Some of the key things that I'm happy to advise you about is, as part of getting our businesses ready for the next step, we undertook a deep dive into our technological backbone in all our businesses. And one of the things we've done is to replace perhaps old and maybe outdated systems. That process, is in full swing, and we expect we will conclude within the coming months. Along that same theme, we've also embarked on a process of digital transformation of our businesses. The digital transformation will encompass both internal processes as well as processes which impact the customer experience with us. So the ultimate ambition or goal is to drive our businesses as much as possible, hopefully 100% in a paperless environment, and be a pace setter in that regard in this packet. In addition to all that, we've invested heavily in talent. I'm sure you all will know that to drive any business in anywhere in the world, human talent is critical. And one of the things we've done is to invest significantly in our people. We've also taken a huge step in terms of finding the right people to drive our strategic ambitions. And we've been very successful in that regard. Other achievements will be notably in the insurance space. As you know, there is currently a suspended recapitalization process, but we have taken the steps as a group to recapitalize our insurance businesses, particularly the life insurance business, from capital of 2 billion to 8 billion, and the general business from 3 billion to 10 billion. We have also been able to achieve a common understanding internally in terms of having a clear direction that we are headed, a clear understanding amongst ourselves as executives and among all our colleagues in terms of our strategic ambitions and what needs to be done to get us there, which you shall see materialize in the coming days and months. In terms of socio-economic impact within the Nigerian ecosystem, one of our key desires and objectives is to democratize access to financial services and products in Nigeria. You will all agree with me that one ready and obvious way of doing that, and which shows the potential, is the level of mobile penetration in our market today. And we think we will be able to leverage significantly on this technology to drive financial inclusion, to deepen financial penetration in Nigeria through our various businesses and the various products which we will be introducing into the market. Which then brings me to the next point, which is that we've done a lot of work in terms of developing simple and innovative products that can offer value to our current customers, whilst also broadening uptake of financial products in the market generally. So we will encourage you to look out and watch out for these in the coming days and months. In addition to this, we've done a lot of work in the area of seamless integration with our business partners, particularly, again, leveraging on the technology platforms that we have built and are also currently building, essentially to ensure seamless access to our products whilst ensuring we are able to engage effectively with our various business partners for value addition. One example that comes to mind, as you may know, is that in the pension industry, the transfer window is currently open, and one of the things we hope to do is to leverage on technology to drive that for our pensions business. So I've spoken about, in a way, I've touched on driving financial inclusion, which we hope to achieve via digitization of our processes, which will ensure ease of access across all our various business lines: life insurance, general insurance, pension fund administration, as well as banking. Another key thing for us is that with the acquisition of ARM Life, we were also able to acquire a very strong agency force, which is present all across the country. And it is our intention to leverage on that to also deepen penetration and uptake of our various products and services. Ultimately, part of what will be driving product development for us will be simplicity, innovativeness, with a view, as I keep emphasizing, to deepen penetration, to deepen uptake, to ensure our clients and, not just our clients, but also the market in general, have a way to live financially secure lives through access to well-thought-through products in the area of protection via life and general insurance, in the area of savings and investments via our pensions and banking businesses. Thank you very much. I think I will stop here for now by way of my introduction to our brand. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dapo, for an insightful session. Before I go to the next person, I just want to tell you guys to please make sure your phones are on silent and ensure that you have your masks on at all times. It's a COVID-compliant event, please. Thank you. So next on is our head of life insurance, Livingston Marigorimbo, who will be talking to us about the growth plans as a business going into the future. Round of applause, please. Thank you, Livingston.
Thank you. Thank you, Olabisi, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's really good to be here. And as Dapo mentioned, this is really an exciting time and moment for us at Tangerine. The future for us is actually quite interesting. And one of the things that I'm going to talk to you about this morning is in terms of our growth plans. What is it that we plan to do going forward? As we were listening to my colleague, Dapo, one of the things that probably came out strongly was the acquisitions and mergers that happened over a very short period of time. At Tangerine, for us, it has been a very long and short period, and I'll explain what I mean by that. So if you reflect back to what Dapo said in terms of the genesis of Tangerine brand in September 2019, and today, which is July 2021, it's actually under 2 years. But if you look at the amount of work that has happened in that space, it speaks to a lot of work, not just in terms of identifying opportunities in the different businesses within the financial service sector, but more importantly, in terms of looking for opportunities to integrate these businesses into solid businesses that are poised for growth as we look forward. So obviously, one of the things that is imperative if we are talking about our growth plans, if we talk about our growth strategy, is ensuring that we've got a solid foundation and we've got a solid base. And over the past 18 months or so, the focus and emphasis for us at Tangerine has been on ensuring that we've got that solid foundation so that when we now put our gear shifting into drive to move forward, we are going in the right direction. We are growing at a pace in line with our expectations. Again, just to recap, Dapo did mention that internally we have cleared and aligned in terms of the strategy and the direction that we want to take as far as Tangerine is concerned. So we are at a point where we now need to focus on how do we drive these businesses going forward to generate the value that is expected, not just from a customer perspective, but for all our stakeholders, be they our investors, our regulators, our distribution partners, and more importantly, our people and our staff that work with us and they've been with us for this journey. So, as Dapo mentioned, we have Tangerine Life, Tangerine General, Tangerine Pensions, and Tangerine Money. And I'll speak briefly about the Tangerine Health entity that is going to come online before the end of this year. So this morning, I would like to talk to you about a number of key themes around our growth plans. Firstly, what should you expect from Tangerine as a group? Secondly, what are the steps that we are going to take to grow our business? And then thirdly, from a penetration point of view, which is something that is really key for us as we play and continue to play our corporate citizenship role in terms of ensuring that there's improved access to not just insurance products, but to financial services products, and we'll talk about that. I'll also touch on where we intend to be in terms of market positioning, because that is also key for us. And then I'll just close by talking about some of the plans that we have as a group in terms of expanding our presence beyond the Nigerian borders, and Dapo did touch on that briefly. If you were to allow me to speak about our growth plans and give me this mic for as long as I could, we may end up having to save lunch here. So what I'll try to do is to try to be as brief as possible, and at the same time try to share with you some of the key drivers as we move forward. So, in terms of growth plans, obviously, efficiency is something that we are focusing on. You heard about acquisition merger, and one of the fundamental value drivers from a merger is to ensure that there's efficiency that is being derived from the combination or the integration of those 2 or 3 businesses. So as we go forward, efficiency is going to be our primary focus, ensuring that we are able to generate not just maximizing value for our investors, but also maximizing value for our customers as we move forward. Dapo did touch on the digitization process that we've been working on over the past 18 months in terms of ensuring that we have the right digital platforms for us to grow. And we are now entering a stage in a phase where we are now utilizing these digital platforms for growth in terms of customer acquisition, in terms of integration with various business partners that will feed into our top line and profitability growth, in terms of seamless integration with our customers for service delivery. And one key point that we are so passionate about, and we've been working on tirelessly over the last 12, 18 months, is ensuring that when it comes to claims processing, we don't want our customers to go through this hassle where it's more or less like, why did I take out this policy in the first place? We want to ensure that from their phone from their tablet, from access to internet, they are able to initiate and to engage us and submit all the documentation that is required for us to process this claim. So we are talking about real-time claims processing. Now, moving on to penetration and acquisition customer strategy for us. One area that we are very, very focused on is ensuring that we are not focusing too much on profitability, because profitability in the short term takes away your focus and your outlook in terms of where you should be in terms of growing your business. So for us, customer acquisition is going to be number one, using the different digital platforms that my colleague Ibitunde will talk about, and we'll also share a bit more about that in the evening event, which I'm hoping and looking forward to seeing all of you being part of that process. So we want to acquire customers. We want to ensure that the customers that we acquire receive and get the service that they expect, not just in terms of claims processing, but seamless communication and integration with our various businesses. The other part that is also key for us is in terms of, yes, democratizing access to financial services and products, but more importantly, ensuring that we are coming up with products that are derived or coming from the needs of the customers. More often than not, as not just the financial service industry, but globally and in different sectors, we have this tendency to think on behalf of customers and say, you know what, I think they require a term life policy, or they require this particular health products, and then we push it to market. And at the end of the day, we end up having issues where the needs of the customers that are meant to be addressed are not adequately addressed. So we want to start by understanding what those needs are, ensuring that the products that we develop are simple products, simple to understand. What is it that I'm getting myself into? But more importantly, simple in terms of knowing exactly what those benefits that you have bought are going to be. So in terms of marketing position, obviously, I'm sure if you were to ask any of my colleagues and say, where do you want us to be as Tangerine? Obviously, we want to be number one. But I think one thing that we've also learned within the Tangerine family is that we also need to be a bit modest about our ambitions and our desires. So we want to be a top player as far as provision of financial services, products, and goods is concerned. And again, we'll share a bit more of that this evening. Now, coming to expansion plans, I think this is something that is quite close to our hearts at Tangerine. For a simple reason, when we talk about access to financial services and products, when we talk about financial inclusion, when we talk about providing products and services that speak to the needs of our customers, it's not a Nigerian problem. It's something that cuts across different markets in Africa. And for us, we are positioning Tangerine as a Pan-African financial services player, obviously leveraging on our digital platforms for distribution of our products, for engaging with our customers. So yes, in the Nigerian market, we have had very successful acquisitions and mergers. My colleague Dapo talked about our not ambitions, because I mean it's an ambition that is almost coming to reality in terms of being in the health space. So before the end of this year, as part of our growth plans in Nigeria, we will be present in the HMO space. We are at the tail end of concluding 2 acquisitions, and obviously that will be followed by a merger, and that will give us that presence. In the Nigerian space, we are also going to take opportunities of any existing good quality businesses that we continue to see, whether it's in the life insurance space, whether it's in the general insurance space, pension space, banking, digital banking, and there will be possibly some growth plans that will come around that. But beyond Nigeria, we have already started looking at a number of African markets. As we speak, I don't want to call it tail end, because anything can happen with some of these transactions and these processes. But we are currently looking at the Ghana market. we have identified a path to our presence in that market, and we see ourselves in the Ghana market before the end of this year. But by the time we celebrate Christmas, I'm sure you will be hearing about Tangerine Ghana. So let's keep watching out for that. We have also started looking at the Francophone West Africa market, in particular the CIMA region. We see a lot of potential in that market. There are very strong needs in terms of customer needs that we have identified in there. There are very strong countries with very robust economies that provide us with access to distributing our products and services. We are looking at countries like Cameroon. We are looking at countries like Ivory Coast. We are looking at countries such as Gabon. Beyond the Francophone West Africa, we also have a keen interest in East Africa, in Central and Southern Africa. So there's quite a bit that is going on. As my colleague Dapo mentioned, within the next 3 years, we want to see ourselves being present in, at least he was quite modest, he said in 8 countries, but the view really is that we want to see our presence in at least 8 countries. So we are looking at beyond 8 countries. So I think from my side, that's really what I wanted to share with you this morning in terms of our growth plans. There's a lot of work, obviously, that is going to be required for us as we move forward. We have a very strong and a committed team, which my colleague Dapo mentioned in terms of efforts that we have put in place to bring in talent, to nurture that talent, to develop that talent. And I have no doubt in my mind that some of the plans that we've shared with you this morning are plans that are going to come to be reality, and hopefully you'll be part of that journey with us at Tangerine. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Livingston. Thank you. Just before we go to the last session, I want to recognize 2 of our executives from Tangerine, Nigeria. We have the head banking services, Akinshaye Akinola, here. And we also have the head of operations at Tangerine, Nigeria, Yomi Onifade. Thank you. So finally, our head of commercial at Tangerine, Nigeria, Ibitunde Balogun, will talk us through our products and service offerings.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so good morning again. At Tangerine, Nigeria, we're essentially trying to create an opportunity for both corporates and individuals to access products. So Dapo has talked to all the different companies that we currently, operate in the country. We have a pension business, we have a digital banking business, we have a life insurance business, and we have a general business. Livingston has also spoken to our growth plans in terms of expanding into the health business as well as other countries. And I'll just quickly touch on some of the products and services that we're going to offer, right? And what we're trying to do is to create products to cater to all the segments of the market and to cater to both corporates, SMEs, as well as retail customers. So I'll start with the corporate business, which is a mainstay of our current business, where we have, services on the general space, where we cover everything from, factory insurance to aviation insurance to oil and gas insurance. So if you look at the general space and you look at the corporate business, you are able to see that we have a product to fit into every risk that every corporate can imagine from the general perspective. Also from the life perspective, we have products like the group life insurance, which essentially covers the lives of the employees that work within these organizations. When we look at some of our banking services, we have some services for SMEs where we're able to offer, accounts to them. We're able to facilitate payments. We're able to facilitate some loans to them as well. And on the pension space, we also have retirement savings accounts where we're able to then offer, retirement savings accounts to the employees of all these organizations. So that's on the corporate space. On the individual space and the retail space, we have products, cutting across all the companies that Dapo had mentioned. We have retirement savings accounts that, and voluntary savings accounts that individuals can set up and open and save, for their pension. For the general insurance space, we have home and home insurance, we have contents insurance, We have motor insurance, the most popular insurance products in the country. We have access to personal accident insurance. We have travel insurance. All these services we can offer under our general insurance license. Under our life insurance business for the retail space, we have different individual policies that people can opt in for. We have educational plans. We have savings plans. We have a combination of risk and savings products that we're able to offer our customers. On the digital banking space, we're able to offer people access to open bank accounts, access to payments, bill payments, access to savings, access to loans. So we're essentially trying to be a one-stop shop where everybody can get something from Tangerine. Hopefully, before the end of the year, we would also have the health insurance business. That's the fastest growing business today, where, obviously with COVID, the awareness of health and the needs for cover has become so apparent. So we're going to have that product that is also going to be available, or that company that is going to be able to offer those products and services. So that's it about generally our products and services. But what is interesting about Tangerine is that our mode of distribution of these products, for me, I think, is second to none. We have built a quite robust technology platform that we're able to offer all these services, in one, intertwined. Livingston spoke about our claims process, where we're trying to essentially digitize that process and make sure that people are able to access the claims and actually get the value for when insurance comes up. But speaking to our technology platform, what we've created is a Tangerine app, which essentially on the retail side is able to offer a 360-degree view of all your products and services, be it the pension business we spoke about, be it the life insurance, be it general insurance, be it your digital banking, where we're able to offer a single sign-on, where people can then access some of these products. And we've made it very intuitive, where through mobile apps, through tabs, through web, any internet source, you're actually able to create a Tangerine account and you're able to access all these products and services. So there are still some insurance companies today where you have to go into their agent location, or you have to be visited by someone and you have to fill forms, with paper. But what we're trying to do is to create a more efficient system whereby people can actually access all these products through their mobile phone and finish the full underwriting process end-to-end on the web. This, for me, is something that is a game changer, and it's something that we believe is going to be something that disrupts the way insurance is done and spurs the industry to greater heights. So we have created this app that, by 12 p.m. tonight, you'll be able to download from the iOS store as well as the Google Play Store, whereby you can sign in, get access to creating a pension account, get access to buying a life insurance product, you get access to buying a motor insurance product, get access to receiving money, sending money, paying for your bills. It's a one-stop robust platform that we believe that is going to change the way financial services are being done. Beyond the services that we offer, we've also started doing a lot of integrations and partnerships where we're able to then offer some other ad hoc services that are required today. We really want Tangerine to be a place that once you come into our ecosystem and our platform, you are able to get everything relating to your financial security, and you're able to get a product that meets a certain need. So this is something that we believe is revolutionary in the Nigerian space. We believe we're democratizing access to financial services. To reiterate again, we have the banking services where you'll be able to, open an account, pay bills, send money, receive money, apply for a credit card. We have insurance, services on there where you can buy a travel policy, you can buy a motor policy, you can buy a personal accident policy, you can buy a home insurance. We have access to you being able to manage your pension accounts, if you're with us. And, we have so many other products as well that are going to come on stream, like the health product that Livingston spoke about, once those acquisitions are final. So that's the interesting thing about the app. But for me, what is even more interesting is that your ability to buy the product is one thing, but the main issue around financial services is that when you need access to something, so it's in terms of insurance, it's when there's a claim. And when a claim occurs, a lot of insurance companies or a lot of insurance businesses have actually made it difficult for you to actually get access to that money when you need it the most. So imagine you have an accident, on Third Mainland Bridge, and you are distraught, you are confused. At that point, you need something that is reassuring, that is going to put you back on your feet immediately. A lot of companies would have a process that would involve somebody coming in there, somebody accessing what happened. They'll tell you to take this to this place, take this to that place. But what we are trying to do, what we have done, is to create a claims process that is seamless, that through that app that you bought the policy, you're actually able to assess the damage and get it paid into your Tangerine account, which you have access to immediately. So our claims process for us is second to none, where we have tried to revolutionize using technology the way people can actually do claims. That, for me, is really even more important than access to the product in the first place, because the claim is really when, the rubber meets the road, and having access to that claim is so critical. So we've obviously been able to create this technology platform that helps us drive, the operations of our products. And, the last bit I'll just talk about is just access to everything about your finances all in one app. We have dashboards and we have reports that you can get from the app that can help you track your spending, for instance, can help you budget, can help you see your net worth in terms of all the insurance policies that you have, in terms of your pension, when you retire, how much is there, can help you track and see the value of your funds, how much you have in savings, how much debt you have. So we've created this platform that through mobile, through your tab, through the web, you're actually able to see everything that has to do with your finances. So I think we've been here for quite a while. I think that Juan Livingston have spoken to what we are trying to do. I just thought I should just share a bit about the product, and we hope that by 12 midnight, you will download the app and you would open a Tangerine account. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibitunde. That was very insightful. So the next item on the agenda is the Q&A session. So we're going right into that. But before we do that, I want you to make sure that you keep your phones on silent. Ensure that you have your masks on at all times. If you want to speak, you can take up your mask, but make sure you put it back on immediately, because this is a COVID compliant event. So thank you. Where's the host who's going to take the mic around? Yes, please. So we're happy to take your questions, and they're going to take your answers.
Okay. Hello? Okay, my name once more is Tosikleg. I write for This Day newspaper. I've listened extensively to everything the three speakers have said. But for me, I'm more particular about something. Now, that's the Tangerine money. Because I believe if a lot of growing businesses can be empowered with funds, then they will be able to do virtually every other services you guys provide, from life to the insurance to the HMOs and everything. Because at the end of the day, a young person like me on the come up without having enough funds would not be thinking of all of this. And these people are more or less like the next future. Like what I'm going from head to toe is made in Nigeria. So my major issue now is how flexible is it, or let me say question, sorry. How flexible is it for young entrepreneurs to access the funds or the Tangerine money? Because that has been a major issue with so many people. I get a lot of young people telling me, oh, I went to this bank, they said this. I went to this fund management, they said this. Because at the end of the day, these guys need to grow their businesses. And if it is not being with accessible funds, how will it be easy to even pitch all the other services Tangerine offers to them? So I want to know how flexible is it for them to access. And also regarding the fact that, not every young entrepreneur has a good financial record. Probably has not been some millions to be able to prove that, if you give him some money, he'll be able to do so much better. So in a situation whereby the entrepreneur may not even have enough to prove or to attest, but the ideas might be brilliant and can turn into a multi-millionaire company tomorrow, how accessible can these funds be for such an entrepreneur? From that angle, that's where I would like to get to understand much better. Thank you.
Okay. I think I'll take that, Labisi. Can I take it? Okay, thank you very much. So what we are doing at Tangerine Money is that we've built in, so I hear you when you say that the processes that the traditional banks today have is quite cumbersome, where they're asking you for so many different things for you to provide bank statements, collateral, and things like that. What we've done at Tangerine Money is that we've built AI technology that is going to help us access a lot of that information online real time. So not everybody will be able to get access to money, you know, because like you said, some people might have some bad credits, but we will be able to advise very, very quickly what somebody can get access to and how much. So to your point of somebody coming in saying, look, I have an idea, but I don't have so much track record. We're able to assess that quickly with our technology, and we're able to say, okay, fine, we're able to offer you X so that you can actually start doing what you want to do and then hopefully grow it over time and then be able to benefit from the ecosystem. So yes, we have used technology to basically improve that assessment process, which is essentially what banks do, where they sometimes take 2-3 months assessing whether you're able to pay back and if you have debt somewhere else. So we're able to use technology to assess that online real time and provide responses in the shortest possible time. And then even if you're not able to obviously have shown track record, we're able to give you something to kickstart that process. So that is available from Tangerine Money.
Thank you, Bitunde. Does that answer your question? Do we have any other questions? Okay, please.
My name is Alaka, Boyega Alaka. I work with the Nation, like I said. My own question is more about, you are a new company, barely 2 years, I guess, from what you've just said. And it looks like you're foraging into so many aspects of business. I'm looking at it, is it not looking like you guys are biting too much to chew within your young age? That's one. Then, of course, you also spoke about growing your financial business from 2 billion to 8 billion. Massive money, considering what, the state which Nigeria is at the moment. How you accessing these funds and able to get to this level?
Thank you. Livingston, do you want to take that?
Can I take the...
Yes, you can, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think just to replay your two questions. The first one, over a space of under 2 years, we've been able to get into a number of businesses, and are we not taking too much on that? And then the second one speaks to the recapitalization of the life business from the minimum capital requirement of 2 billion to 8 billion. And the question is, how did we achieve that? Okay, thank you. So to the first question, I think one of the things that we all need to be sort of clear on is at times in business, for you to grow to a level that you want to grow to, there are certain imperatives that you need to have in place. And what do I mean by that? If you want to be a major player in the financial services space, where your desire is to fulfill and address the needs of your customers, you should be in a position to be able to do that. So for instance, if a customer walks into Tangerine and says, you know what, I want life insurance for myself and my family. I want to educate, or I want to ensure that my children are properly educated. I'm also employed, and I also want to ensure that my pension funds are being administered and managed properly. And at the same time, my health is important. I want to ensure that is also adequately addressed. And I want to have all these services and products in a way that is seamless, that is hassle-free. It doesn't make sense for me to move from one entity for my life insurance needs, go to another for general, go to another for health. And because I'm dealing with 4 or 5 different entities, those different entities are treating me individually as a customer, and my value as a customer to them is also as an individual customer. Whereas if you build an ecosystem where you are able to address all these needs that I've articulated in a central point, you are viewing me, even though as an individual customer, but an individual customer who is seeking access to health, to life, to pensions, to general. And therefore, the value proposition that you are able to push through to me will make much more sense than going to an individual entity to look for these services individually. And for us, that was very clear. And for us to be able to achieve that, we had to build this ecosystem. The spin to your question is a comment that I would make, and that I actually made earlier on, which is, for us, from September 2019 to now, it has been a very long, if you recall, I said it has been a very long and short period. It has been long in the sense that we have been able to achieve all these things that you have mentioned, and it has been short in the sense that, obviously, if you look at time-wise, no one would have expected us to have achieved all these things in such a short period of time. And that in itself speaks to the capacity that we have in Tangerine and our understanding of what we need to do and when, and building that capacity. One of the things that, if you had some insight into one or two of the first businesses that were acquired by Verod Capital back in 2019, 2020, one of the things that you would have said, you know what, you guys, you have too many resources. Why do you need all these resources? Why are you bringing in all these resources? But we brought in all these resources to give us capacity to build what we've been able to build. Ibitunde joined us in August of 2019. Akinshe joined us, the head of Tangerine Money, joined us in May of 2020, before we even concluded the acquisition of Tangerine Money business. Yomi Onifade has been working with us before now. And Olabisi has been with us for a number of months, even before we started looking. So we made sure that we've got the resources and the talent. It may have been painful financially for us in the initial stages because of all these resources, but these resources were for a reason. And if you recollect, or if you recall, one of the points that I made earlier on is, for us, we are clear that in the short term, we need to be clear what it is that we are focusing on. Are we focusing on profit in terms of profit that we are generating today? Or are we looking at growing our customer base, delivering service to that customer base, and then ensure that whatever dollar, naira, kobo, whatever currency you look at that we are spending it for the future. But there's clarity in terms of why are we spending it now and how does it help us achieve the future targets that we have set ourselves. So that's something that we've done. And then coming to the recapitalization process, and I'm not going to say this in a way that probably will provide more clarity to the entire industry, but I'll speak for Tangerine. More often than not, what tends to happen is that regulators come to industry players and say, you need to recapitalize. Your capital base is 2 billion, you need to increase it to 8 billion, you need to increase it to 10 billion. And insurance companies or other entities for that matter then recapitalize because the regulator has said you need to recapitalize, right? But most businesses, the way they should look at it is to say, I'm here, my future ambitions have been defined, we want to be at this point. How do we get to that future, right? What resources do we need in terms of people, in terms of talent? What resources do we require in terms of financial capacity for us to be able to get to that? And for us, it was not a question of the regulator, National Insurance Commission, has said you need to recapitalize. As we speak, in the life business, we are sitting at a capital of about 12 billion. If you look at our general business, we are sitting in excess of the 10 billion that is required. And those capital levels are driven primarily by where we want to be and the financial capacity that we will require for us to get there. The things that we had today, I'm sure one of the things that was going through at the back of your minds was, okay, so from a financial point of view, what does it take to achieve that? And these are things that we have required capital to be able to do. When you talk about digital platforms, when you talk about bringing people, when we talk about core technology, if you look at the core technologies that we require for our banking business, for our insurance businesses, we are not talking of less than $1 million each. And those are projects and initiatives that are important for us for the future that we need to spend money on. And for us, we are not really worried about the stance that is currently happening where the recapitalization process has been suspended. Other insurance companies have decided not to recapitalize until that is sorted out. For us, we are focusing on our growth strategies. We are focusing on the financial capacity we require to get there. And we've been fortunate. I must say that we've had a shareholder, Verod Capital Management, who, by the way, is a Nigerian private equity fund that focuses on investing in Africa and in African businesses where they see opportunities and potential for growth. And they saw a huge opportunity in the financial services sector, and they partnered with us on this journey. And they've been very supportive, and there's been alignment in terms of the value and the direction that we are taking. And whether it's people, whether it's financial resources, they've come through to be supportive in that regard. So at Tangerine, obviously, we are quite grateful that we've been in a good position to have very supportive shareholders as we walk through this journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Livingston. I hope this answers your question, Mr. Joe. Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions? Okay.
Good morning. Samuel from Nairametrics. Can you hear me? Okay, so obviously from your statements, we could see that Tangerine has significant financial backing, but my own interest is on the pension fund angle. So with these RSA transfer windows, we know that pension funds managers and management have been very competitive in recent times. So when you look at the performance, you see a lot of greens and a lot of double figure, more like 6-7% growth monthly. So I want to know specifically what Tangerine is going to do in this space, because since the competition has been intensified, first you want to grow your customer base, and then you want to give value to your investors or your contributors. So how specifically is Tangerine going to make this possible? Thank you.
All right, I'll take that question. I think it's an excellent question, and the way you phrase the question actually makes me very happy, because in a way it validates what for us is an inherent part of our key value proposition in Tangerine Pensions. You emphasize the issue of return on investment. And one of the ways we intend to drive our business and differentiate ourselves is to invest significantly in the sort of talent that will ensure that we consistently deliver investment returns that are leading in the industry. Interestingly, one of the things I was thinking in my mind in response to the question the earlier gentleman asked was that there is actually no company that is new within Tangerine Group. These are all previously existing businesses that have been they've been around for decades, and have achieved various milestones in their existence. For the pension businesses, or the two entities that ultimately will end up being the pension business, the interesting thing is, from a return on investment point of view, those two businesses historically, if you look at the last 3-4 years, have almost consistently been among the industry leaders in terms of top 5 best return on investment performance of the core funds that we manage. And to validate that, one of the things that the regulator has done differently with the introduction of the transfer window has been to ensure there is more transparency around information on investment performance. And what they've done is to publish, for the first time since the industry started, comprehensive data on the regulator's webpage, which shows historical returns of all the different operators going back 3-4 years. So that automatically gives the public, independent, third-party, and validated data to assess the different operators. The good thing, as I said, if you look at our own, provenance, and you say, for example, what are the entities that make up Tangerine Pensions today? One of them is AXA Mansard Pensions. The other will be announcing, hopefully, within the next few weeks. As I said, they've been historically among the leaders. So in addition to investing in talent, one of the things we will also be doing is enhancing our research capability and also leveraging on technology to carry out that research in a way that differentiates us in the market. So investment performance is one thing. The other thing we intend to do is also to differentiate ourselves in terms of service delivery. We believe there's still significant room to make a huge difference in service delivery within this industry. And you'll be seeing that emerge over the next few weeks and months.
Thank you, Dapo. I hope that answers your question. Do we have any other questions?
Okay, my name is Juliet. I just wanted to shed more light on how artificial intelligence has helped Tangerine life as a whole.
Thank you.
So basically, artificial intelligence is basically using technology to try to predict customer behavior. And what essentially we are using AI to do is, because we have different businesses under the same platform, right? We're able to understand from the person's purchases or person's behavior what they require. So I'll give you an example. If you see that somebody on a weekly basis spends 5,000 naira, at the petrol station, you know that this person has a car, or this person is buying fuel for something. It can be a car or a generator. You can then offer products and services tailored to what that person's behavior. You can offer the person a car loan, for instance, if they want to buy a new car, because you know the person requires a car. Or you can offer car insurance, because you know that, okay, this person has a car, so he might need insurance. If you notice that somebody is paying school fees, right, periodically as terms go by, you can then offer education policy, which is a life insurance policy where there's a savings and risk element that would enable the parents to secure the future, the education of the child. So that's essentially what AI does. It helps us understand the customer's behavior to then offer tailor-made services based on the bouquet of products we have, based on all the operating licenses we have, that then enables that person have a better experience. So the person is obviously happier because Tangerine is able to then cater to more needs. Another benefit to that is that once you are within the Tangerine ecosystem, you are able to then get discounts. So if you have, a Tangerine Money account, right, and you decide to go to somewhere else for maybe your car insurance, or somewhere else for your travel insurance, or somebody else managing your pensions, it can become a bit cumbersome, and you don't get that value of, synergy and discounts that will then accrue if you then say, you know what, I'm with Tangerine, I'm able to get, because I'm a Tangerine Money customer, I'm able to get a 10% discount on my car insurance, or I'm able to get free life insurance for a month, or things like that. So that's how we try to use AI to then predict customer behavior and then enhance the experience for the customer.
Thank you, Ibitunde. Any other questions? Okay, so I guess that's bringing us to, right, okay.
I really want to start about, just one more question. Tangerine, the brand, is it a only Nigerian brand, or it has some foreign affiliation, or coming from foreign country, basically?
Can I take it? I'm just going to give a very simple response. It's an African brand. Thank you.
Thank you, Livingston. Okay, so that brings us to the close of this session, and you've heard it all. There's something for everyone at Tangerine, the corporates, SMEs, the seniors, the youth, everyone. So thank you for taking out time to be with us today, and welcome to the Tangerine Life. We are moving over to the photo session. We're going to have some photos with the press, executives, and the general team. So thank you once again. It was nice to have you here.
Tangerine. You desire a financially secure future. That is why Tangerine Africa is here to serve your needs across the African continent. What is Tangerine? It's a life well lived in financial security. It's protection for you, the ones you love, and the things you love. It's saving more and earning more. It's creating wealth from what you have. It's affordable healthcare plans. It's taking your business to the next level. We've removed all the hurdles. When you think of your money, you do so with peace of mind. We are building with you so that the future you desire becomes true. You are our priority. Welcome to Tangerine. This is Tangerine. You desire a financially secure future. That is why Tangerine Africa is here to serve your needs across the African continent. What is Tangerine? It's a life well lived in financial security. It's protection for you, the ones you love, and the things you love. It's saving more and earning more. It's creating wealth from what you have. It's affordable healthcare plans. It's taking your business to the next level. We've removed all the hurdles. When you think of your money, you do so with peace of mind. We are building with you so that the future you desire becomes true. You are our priority. Welcome to Tangerine.